I'm currently volunteering at the Center for People in Need here in Lincoln. The center's mission is to enhance opportunities for families and youth as they address socioeconomic barriers limiting their path to success. A couple of things in support of the mission include providing the emergency and basic needs of families through delivery of direct services. They help develop and support educational programs along with increased job training and improving computer skills. The first service learning skill from class that I've applied throughout my service would be time and stress management. Being a full-time student while working a job and finding time to give back to the community can pose a challenge. There are 10 keys to time management. Here are just a few I use to stay on schedule. Using a planning system is imperative to keeping up with events and deadlines. I just use a simple daily planner where I put all of my class assignments and work schedule. Scheduling personal time each day is another important factor. Everyone needs some downtime to relax and reflect on their day. If you don't plan proper time to unwind and collect yourself, it can lead to stress and anxiety. There are two types of stress, distress and eustress. Distress is the bad form of stress that can cause us to become upset over little things. Eustress is the good form of stress. Resolving conflict is another skill I put to use in my service. One of the jobs I do is bagging groceries of the people in need after they have made their way through the line. I have an item list with the quantity each shopping cart should have as they come through. Some people try to sneak past with an extra loaf of bread or something like that, and it's tough having to call them out or tell them to put it back. Most of the people are respectful and have no problem giving it up, but there are always a few who want to cause a scene. In most cases, I go and get one of my supervisors on duty and they will take care of it if the person is being difficult. Nonverbal communication is another interpersonal skill I was able to use in my service. The majority of the people in need there do not speak English, so the use of hand gestures and eye contact helped me to communicate what I could do to help them. Active listening is also a communication skill that I had to work on at the Center for People in Need. I always had to pay close attention to my supervisor on duty when he or she was giving me my instructions for each task because their English was also tough to understand. An example of empathy that I experienced at the Center for People in Need was the weekend before Thanksgiving. The task that I was assigned to was to oversee the checkout line where people were bringing the food they picked out from the donation tables. My supervisor gave me an item list that explained how much of each item each individual could take. At one point during my time in the checkout line, an elderly lady came through with more than the allowed amount of meat items in her cart. For a moment, I put myself in her shoes and could tell she had been through a lot and permitted her to take the extra food. I feel like I gave many contributions to the Center for People in Need. One would be how I brought two of my friends with me to come help volunteer. Being a younger volunteer can sometimes encourage other kids in my age range to get out and give back to the community. Another contribution would be donating some of my own canned food items for the Thanksgiving season. Lastly, I would say I contributed a positive vibe to the center by coming in with a good attitude and always having a smile on my face. This experience affected me in many ways, but I would say the biggest effect it had was opening my eyes to a new perspective on how the less fortunate live day to day.